In this tutorial, I will be discussing how to do payouts. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, I need to use a tournament that's already completed. So I have a Stableford test that I did that has scores and Stableford points, so I can show you payouts for both gross score and Stableford in this tournament. I'm using my largest cursor, so hopefully this will be easy for you to follow where I'm clicking. I'm coming up to Tools, and I'm going to Purse Calculator. Now it's a slightly intimidating looking page. There's a lot of configuration options, so I'll go through them. It's really not that difficult. I'll go one section at a time. Let's start out with the most basic idea of having some sort of payout. Let's say that we're going to pay out $100 and we're going to pay it 100% to the winner of the tournament. Let's just come down to 100%. So we can watch this, and we're just going to pay to first place only of gross score. And then we calculate. And we see that Jose Perez, with a low score of 76, would win the 100-point pot. There's a variety of ways that we can calculate how much is in the pot. We could put a flat amount. I could say this is $500 and I'm giving 100% of that money into the winner category. Or I could say make it $1,000 and we might be paying 50% of it in this particular way, and we might pay the others the closest to the pin and skins. So we have some flexibility on how we move money around. And then every time we calculate it, uses the numbers that we most recently had. So we have a $1,000 pot, half of which is for the winners, and that specific pot is $500. Now let's see what happens if we take this and pay it 2 positions. That's what this 2 is for. And we're going to do it in a 70-30 split. So let's go back to 100% of the money of $100. Makes it much easier to follow percentages in what we're doing. 70% going to the winner. 70% of $100 is $70. Second place paid 30%. There was a tie between these two guys, so they split it and each got $15. And I've been running these. I meant these to be 0 just to make this. So all we were really looking at so far is the money for the winners. We could also have a specific amount of money that was given only for this pot. And we could do that as a flat amount or a per player. To go back up to the primary example, let's say that there is no flat amount, but we're going to put $20 per player. Now I had 47 players or some odd, so I have $940 in the pot. And I currently have all of that pot, 100% allocated to the purse. And let's say we're going to pay it 10 places on the gross score. And here are our payouts. So let's go back to a simple payout, 3 places, 50, 30, 20, and calculate. And we see here that they tied for second place, so the second place money and third place money were pooled together and was split, because you can see that that combines to $470. 50% went to first. Second and third tied, so they split those two accrued sums. Now, so far we've been paying in gross score. So this was a Stableford tournament, so we could pay this out over the Stableford points. And let's go back to paying first place. And we see right off the bat that although they shot the same gross score, they both had 33 Stableford points. So in a Stableford payout, these two guys would split that money. And it wouldn't matter if we were paying 2 places or 1 place. They're going to pool them together, and it's going to be $470 for each of them. If we were to go to a third position, then the 20% is paid to Chuck Norris in this example, and this is a real golfer from a real tournament. Not the Chuck Norris, though. So we can, multiple ways we can calculate how much money is in the pot. We can put money in this general pot, which can be spread by percentage. So let's go back to something simple. Let's do $1,000. Let's do 0 per player, and let's spread this money around. So let's put half of the money. So we're going to put 50%, which is $500, in our winner pot. Let's put 10% in a closest to the pin contest. So we're going to pay out $100 for the closest to the pin on the which we did on the par threes, which is 4 of them. And let's calculate that. So what do we have there? We take that $100. We had 4 closest to the pins. Now, if nobody hit the green, then it would have divided this out $33.33 per person, because it's only going to give an award if somebody actually won the award. So just because you're having a contest closest to the pin doesn't necessarily mean somebody hit the green. So it takes that into consideration and divides it by the number of winners and does it correctly. So to show you how skins work, so right now I have no percentage of the main pot, which I could just put to 10%, which would be $100. And so if we're paying out $100 in skins, what we have in this case is hole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 were tied. So therefore we didn't pay a skin on them. So we only took the holes in this case that were 1 free and clear with 1 low score single person and paid that skin, each skin being worth $16.66. Now there's a couple of other configuration options we could do with that. We could pay 18 skins and force to split it multiple directions. I don't recommend it, but I'll show you why. I'll turn it on and calculate. Is we had an awful lot of ties on the first hole, and we took that $5 skin and paid everybody 12 cents. So we're spending a whole lot of time paying a whole bunch of people, which is a whole bunch of work, and they're not really excited about getting their 12 cents. So one reason why I don't recommend that. Another way that it could be configured would be to have 18 skins given, and the skins would push forward to the next hole. Although it is a little arbitrary, because I'm going to show you the same situation. We have skins that are worth, let's raise the value of this skin and make each skin worth $10. So in order to do that, let's see, what we probably want to pay like about 18%. There we go. Okay, so at 18%, that's a $180 skins pot, which I did on purpose so that I could pay out 18 skins. And if I'm going to, as they're pushing up, remember hole 1 was a push, so that money rolled forward to hole 2, which was also a push. So it rolled forward to hole 3. So when Jose Perez shot the sole low score on the 7th hole, he won $70, which is a little unfair to Buzz, who clearly won hole 11, but because the previous hole had been won, he only got $10, and Fitzroy Foster on the next hole won hole 12 and only got $10. So by having that in the default position, it just takes the total number of skins, suddenly makes them each worth $30 and pays them out evenly. But basically what I'm saying here is you have a variety of configuration options. You have the ability, if you have a specific sponsor, let's say for instance that our closest to the pin contest was not coming out of the main purse. Let's say that we had a local business that put up $500 and we put a banner out front for them, and that money it came from them. They're sponsoring the closest to the pin purse. They're putting up $500, the whole $500 here. It is the only place the money comes from, and it pays out $125 per. So we can have specific sponsorship, we can have per player level participation or sponsorship, and we can have that in both skins, closest to the pin, and winners.